All right, so if you haven't heard me earlier, I've got the volume now. I just put the cassava flour, the arrowroot powder, and the arrowroot. All right, so if you haven't heard me earlier, I've got the volume now. I just put the cassava flour, the arrowroot powder, and the arrowroot. All right, so we're making the. It says here the buckwheat sprouted tortillas based on the plant-based autoimmune protocol from midmissionary.com. So we've got the sprouted buckwheat that we put in there. We went ahead and put, let me go ahead and get a stool. We've got the sprouted buckwheat in there. We have the, we're going to put now the cassava flour, arrowroot powder, let's see here, the flaxseed. Now we've got some xanthan gum instead of the gar gum. And they don't have the xanthan gum in the protocol. Now I believe, well, we'll have to read that. It might have some sort of wheat processing here. So it's got got 1 teaspoon. I didn't put a half a teaspoon of the flaxseed. I got distracted there. So let's do half a teaspoon of the gar gum, and then a half teaspoon of the flaxseed. Go ahead and do that as well. Now we're going to go ahead and do the salt. We've got the Celtic sea salt, and we're going to put a teaspoon of that as well in the mix. All right, so there we go. So let's go ahead now, and we've got to put, it says here, a cup of hot water at a tablespoon at a time. So this is going to be important because I put too much. I put the whole thing thinking that that's going to be okay. So we're going to only put a little bit. Now, where's the pumpkin seeds? Now, this one doesn't require the pumpkin seeds. Okay, that's later on. So we're going to save the pumpkin seeds for later. Now, where we're going to head for this is we're going to head for the water, the hot water. So it says hot water. So we're going to do the hot water here. And how we're going to make it hot? We're going to put it in a cup, of course. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get the water. That is some water here. And that's drinking water. All right, we're going to go ahead and grab some water. Thanks for joining me. Sorry for the other broadcasts that were without sound, but this one hopefully is working and we are full speed. I'm not going to hit the cameras too much. All right, so we're going to probably add, okay, we need to make it hot, right? We need to make it hot. So let's make that hot water. Okay, we're going to use the handy dandy microwave. That's one good thing for the microwave. So let's do that. All right, so nothing with the water. We'll head to that. We're going to probably just put it in here for a minute. Probably could have had it longer. All right. Now, okay. Next, let's see in the protocol, process everything in the food processor. Now, we're not using the food processor. We should use the food processor, actually. That might be better. Now, since I have it in the blender already, we'll probably use the blender. It says once the dough is blended, form into small balls. So what do you think? Should we use this, throw that all out of here and put it in the food processor? That's too messy with the food processor. So let's just see if this works out with that. Haven't done that yet before, but I think the reason why is because we're just slowly going to add water, and this might be too much for that with that. So, comments. All right, so I've got the hot water. We might now decide the food processor. I think I'm thinking that the food processor is going to be actually better for this scenario. So let me get the food processor prepared over here in food processor land and see if we can use that instead. Alright, so we got the food processor. We've got to get our handy dandy spatula and see if we can get this revved up and ready to go. So we're going to throw this in the food processor after all, and we'll see if that's going to be a good choice or not here in a moment. So far so good. I think the powder makes it easier to flow out of there because the wet is combined with the dry. There we go. Get all those special sprouts. Now the way that we sprouted it is that we rinsed, soaked overnight. We went ahead and then we sprouted it for a day. And then we also, in addition to that, we decided to ferment it for a day as well to get the buckwheat water, to enhance the nutrients, break down the anti-nutrients as well. And that's not on the protocol, but I've done that. And then we put that in the refrigerator waiting for it, and here we are. So, without going into crazy search for this, we are, and we'll probably put the hot water in here because it is sticking in there. So let me look for the hot water. Here it is. Add that hot water in here. All right, so we've put just a little bit there. Now it's not going to be a mess. Oh well. At least we're going to save the rest of the picture. So we're might have to get the real chef. I'm just the cook here in a moment to confirm the consistency for the tortilla. All right, so I don't have Facebook up, so if those who are Facebook watchers would probably be commenting on there. I might look at that here in a second, but give me a minute and I'll go over there and look at that here in a minute. So I've got that. Now we're going to put this in the food processor, and we might change the consistency now to a little bit thicker as we move that along, and not just kind of a congealed mess there. All right, so here we go. We're going to head over to the food processor now, and we've got a huge one that Mid Missionary chose for us, and we're going to go ahead. I guess this is on the website, and I like this. It's huge, but it can make these bigger items. Now I think we'll probably just use the cap for that instead of having to wash that other one. And see if we can get going here. All right, so let's see if we can churn that up. Yeah, I think that's too chunky. That's a little too chunky. So we're going to add a little bit of water to the hot water to that, just a little bit. Alright, that actually looks pretty good. Now we only maybe used a half cup, maybe even less of half a cup of water. Last time we used way too much and we were just having problems trying to see if we can just keep on working on it. Now, let's see, we want it to be doughy. So I'm going to ask the chef here, probably, yeah, And let me see if I can call her. Now, I might call her honey, so hopefully you don't have this loud and your honey will come up on stage and say, hey, what's going on? So let me ask, hold on as I mute this. So as she looks at that and maybe adds a little more water, let's talk a little bit more about soaking and sprouting and the process that we go through in mid-missionary program. So here, I'm going to go through this here. So I'm going to keep the focus on me, but right here. Can you just touch it and see how that is? More? More water?
More flour.
Oh no, I just put a lot of flour in it. Yeah, I just put only a little bit of water.
Let's see.
Should be fine then, okay?
มันไม่ได้เร็วเกินไป
I just put just a few drops of that. It just should be okay. All right, so utter failure looks like. Trying to see if I could put a little water. It looks like she says too much water. So I've got to go ahead and knead it and put more flour in again now. Of course, it's going to take more time now to do that. And it looks like you should, it says on there, put a tablespoon at a time. And I think I was putting more, like maybe 2 tablespoons at a time. And now I've got like 4 tablespoons in there. All right, so I am going to see if I could take her advice and scoop it here. It needs to not be sticky on the hands, she says. So that's what we're going to do, is see if we can make it not sticky on the hands. So I'm going to go ahead and dig that out. She doesn't like the food processor. She thinks it's maybe not natural. So we're going to use the natural way here in a minute and try to put the flour. We've got 2 flours, the cassava and the arrowroot and the gar gum. So we'll see which one will make it not sticky. Okay. All right, so we will try to see if we can salvage this here in a minute. So now I'm going to look for a few items here. All right, so that is so sad. Oh well. I didn't even put hardly any water. All right, so that's why you don't, guys, you don't cook. Just let the women cook, but because they're the experts. But I guess if you could try, maybe that's the quality that might be somebody looking for. All right, here we go. So according to this, try to salvage as much as I can from that. And now we're going to go to hands-on mode. So, all right, so here we go with that. Now, probably to add to that, we'll put a little bit of something on the hands. I think I'm going to choose a little bit of it's a little bit of that, so it won't be sticky on my hands, and we'll see. All right, so we're looking for consistency that it's not going to stick to the hands. So right now it's sticking to the hands. So let's see, we've already thrown all the cassava in there. We have a little more of the xanthan gum, and let's see, I think we'll go with the arrowroot. So with the arrowroot, let's go maybe a tablespoon of that or so. All right, a dollop looks like. Let's see if that will work. Okay. All right, still sticky, very sticky. So let's see if we can go with another dollop. Oops, keep on doing that. All right. All right, still major sticky. Major sticky. So we'll go with a little bit more, and then we'll try a little bit of the xanthan gum. We might have to open up another cassava flour. All right, so we've got the we're going to max that out with the 3. And I'm going to use the xanthan gum. Maybe I'm going to have just just a teaspoon of that. Now she's probably thinking much more than that, but don't want to alter the what we call the menu or the recipe too much, but still not good. All right, so looks like I think the consistency is just not there because it needs to be grinded more, because it's just so it's not really thick enough, because I can feel the graininess of the grains inside there. All right, so that's why we call it a live demo. So I'm going to throw it in here and see if we can process it a little bit more, which might be just a terrible mistake. Okay, so this is now a sea of goo and messiness. All right, I'm going to go off the camera there for a little bit, see if I can do this. All right. All right. we're just going to dig our hands in there and maybe Alright, so what seemed to be a good idea has turned into a so-so idea. Alright, so this is where we'd call Joyce and Mercy and say, hey, what's going on? What can we do here? And even Dr. Arby. Dr. Joyce too. Alright, so let's just see if we can get some cassava flour in the mixed in here as well. Alright. I don't think the water really made a difference anyway with that. So let's see. Tapioca. Let's see here. Paleo. Baking. Maybe that's all the cassava I have. There we go. Alright, let's just use this. I feel like I have a cast on my hand. Alright, so let's just go with a dollop of that. Maybe 2. And that might actually do it. There we go. I think we've reached some success here. There we go. Maybe too much flour now. Alright, so it needs to stick together and not stick on your hands. This is kind of the criteria of that. Okay. Alright, so it looks like we have found some success with that. Now, let's see here. Once the dough is blended, form into small balls. Press flat into your tortilla. It says use wax paper on each side of the press. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and there we go. So I think we're ready now. All right, let's just see if we can salvage whatever we have on my hands into the dough. And there we go. All right. Total mess, everything and everywhere. Oh well, that's I guess the fun of cooking. Alright, so let me close this before we have a major disaster, even more than we had so far. Didn't realize it's going to be more comedy than anything else, but I think that's probably okay. We're learning. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to get the tortilla press. Should have got that out first. And I think we're using, it says here, may use waxed paper on each side. Okay, so we're using not parchment paper, but actually wax paper. So that's what we'll do here in a minute once we find the tortilla press. So let's search for that deep in the crevices of there we go. I think I got that. Alright. So here we go with this. Now I should cover that, and that's another disaster to happen. All right, here we go. So let's cover that. Get some waxed paper, and we're going to have that on both sides. Okay, got one side and the other side. Here we go. A small ball. Where do we go? Where do we go? Okay, we go. Okay. Salvaging a little more over here in the middle. Mix there together. Alright, so it looks like we are not too derailed so far. So let's now put this small balls, it says small balls. Okay. Probably should get that in my hand again because that worked out really nice with that xanthan. No, it was actually cassava. So this is probably too small. I don't know, what do you think? Put it in the tortilla press. We'll do that, and we'll press. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And voila. Alright, so it is still sticking a little bit, but not too bad. Let's see if I can take that out of there. And I can see what she's saying. Alright, I think I still need more flour because that's not coming off there very well. So I can see what she's saying there. So that is not working. So we have to dig that one out of there. Alright, so back to the drawing board. Still a little bit more cassava flour. Alright, so that is not working. Still too sticky. Alright, so we're going to put a little more cassava. Let's go for one more, maybe even two. Let's just stay conservative here. It's just one. Let's go two. Wah, wah. Here we go. Alright, here we go. Okay, small flour on the bottom here, I think. I don't know if I like the lighting in here. Alright. Let's see. So this is the novice show, I think, not the expert show. Advanced beginner, maybe. Needs more proficiency for sure. And maybe it even needs two hands on the mix. Alright, let's see if that works. Alright, let's see if that works. Alright, here we go again. Alright, let's see if that works. I don't know if I try to salvage that or not, but here we go. Here's a small ball. Maybe if we put a little powder on the top of it, maybe even on the bottom of it as well. There we go. Yeah. Karate chop. Looks good, but looks maybe better. Aha, the secret. There we go. So, let's now get our stack here. There's one. Now we're going for another. Again, we'll put a little bit of the flour on the top of that. Take the same amount. maybe a little bit more, and put a little on the top. See if this is going to be better. Okay. There we go. And voila. Number 2. Ooh, that's a big one. So let's do another one here. Maybe. I made so many before, and now I'm just making only a few this time. Maybe I need to make it smaller or something. All right, this one's maybe a baby. This is a baby one. Okay, here we go. Number 3. So far, so good. There we go. Get that out of the way. Alright, already. Not too bad. Too bad. I use this here so we can stuff the flour on there as well. Okay. Was too big for the pan. I'm going to make 6, you think? Should have like a dozen of them. I think I didn't make that much this time. Okay, we go with that. And a little bit of flour on the top. And on the bottom. And the bottom is the one that sticks more. There we go. Okay, looks so far so good. What do you think? Okay, we'll do that. Yeah. Okay, so maybe we'll get 7, the lucky 7. If it's 7, then we have to have an extra pan. And there we go. Let's just do a little mini one here. There we go. Yep, on that side here. A little leverage there. Nice. Moving faster and faster as we speak. Alright, let's just have that there again. Alright, now when you move fast, sometimes disasters are around the corner. Let's do the small one here. Do a small one here. So 6 won't really last too long. I should have been able to do more than that, but that's just how it goes. A little bit of blood, sweat, and tears in this. Let's use this on top. There we go. Alright, let's do this one here. Mercy. Okay. Alright, there's a little saying on there somewhere. Let me hold on. Let's see. Check your encoder, keyframe recommended to. Alright, so we'll do that next time. Keyframe. Let's see, let's go with Facebook. Anything in Facebook land? Nothing. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so let's just go with, there we go. We got 4, 5. So this is again buckwheat tortillas made from sprouted buckwheat and pseudo grains. They're gluten-free, grain-free even. Alright. There. So we've got that. So we've got enough maybe for 2 more. So let's do those 2 more in a smaller window of opportunity. Grabbing a little bit of crumbs here and there. So we made 8. Not too bad. Into the mix. All right, so let's see here. Okay. All right, so what's better, just to pick up your tortillas at the market or make your own? Well, it's always, I guess, a plus to make your own. Now, we don't really need that anyway, so we'll just put it right here. There we go. I already like that. So that's one more round, and let's do one last one here. Sutai, as they say in Thai. Here we go. Now the bottom is kind of like crumbly, probably because it's mixed with way too much flour at the bottom, but again, we need to knead the dough. We'll knead the dough. Alright, so let's see if we can incorporate that as the powdery stuff on the top. Alright, so this one here has some chunks in there. I'm not sure if that's good or not. So, I think we made it successfully. Now we've got to take some time and fry it up in the pan. We'll probably do that in a little bit. Alright, as we do our debriefing, more or less. Okay. Alright, so let's go with that and go with that. There we go. And now we're still got to do the patties. I don't have that on the screen, but I will probably have it here in a little bit. Here it says, place your tea in the heated non-oil casket skillet for about 2 to 5 minutes, and turn over with a scotch and toast for another 2 minutes. All right. So that's going to be something that we'll do here in the background maybe later as we do the next. All right. So we're going to put this aside, and we're going to now go for the next thing on our list. So the next thing on our list is going to be some patties, and they're going to be made from, let me see if I can clean this really fast. They're going to be made from sprouted mung beans and sprouted pumpkin seeds. All right, so we'll use that here in a minute. So thank you, tortilla maker. Looks like we've got that going on here as we speak. Just cleaning it up there. All right, here we go. Next. All right, it looks like as good as new. Ready for the ants to eat the crumbs at the base. We have problems with ants. I don't know if we have problems with ants this time of year for you all, but that's that. Now, let's look at this autoimmune plant-based cookbook. All right, let's just go with the same thing here. Hopefully it won't disappear. All right, so that's that. Just dust that off a little bit more. And we'll probably put that aside. All right. So we might go out of range for this camera. Let's just bring both of them, huh? All right, here we go. So let's see, it says on here, so that's what we're gonna go for, autoimmune plant-based cookbook. Now, we're gonna grab a hold of the book. All right, here we go. Now, there we go. Now, So the authors is Mercy Ballard, RN, and Joyce Cho, but I don't think it's pronounced that way. Heard her name pronounced once before, but I don't remember it. But it's not Chow. It's not Cho. And what's in between? I guess it's Chow. Chow. Alright, so here we go. We're going to go with, see if we can go with the camera. Alright, here we go. So this one here, we're going to go ahead now and make our next one. So we're going to make our next one. So we're going to use a couple of things now. And we'll probably have on the screen here the ingredients. So let me wash my hands. Let me have some semblance of cleanliness when I'm doing this next recipe, as I probably need to soak big time. The one that we use for food processors is total disastrously bead over here. So we're going to use that with a little bit of soap and see if that might be able to help the process. Alright, so we'll be trying to clean that up here in a minute. Just trying to have that out of my hands. Okay, now we might use this here because it will require us to use another bowl. Alright, so this one here is going to be, look at this, beautiful sprouts. Look at that. Not wet anymore, but it's beautiful, isn't it? Okay, so let's pick apart the cookbook. And where is it? All right, here it is. So the cookbook's right there. And let's see if we can search it out. All right. All right, I did okay with the tortilla. I just had to cook it now. All right, so let's go to the mung bean patty. We're going to make the mung bean patty now. And that one also requires the oven. So, okay, so page 70 in the book. So, no, it's just right there. So, no, gonna skillet.
Skillet?
So this is what we'll do is not that one. Page 50. No, 70. Here. So this is called the mung bean. I don't know if you can see that or not. The mung bean breakfast patty. All right. So this is the ingredients there. So I'm going to put it on the base here, and we're going to see if we can close up. Okay, so on this side it says the ingredients, a half a cup of mung beans. Now I used a cup, so we're going to double everything here. So it looks like you need a tablespoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a cup of pumpkin seeds. I have a whole cup soaked overnight, rinsed. I have a cup of chopped onions, 2 small cloves of garlic, minced. 1 medium potato cooked. Oh, we don't have the potato. And 2 tablespoons grounded flaxseed and a half a teaspoon of salt. I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is the mung patty from the autoimmune plant-based cookbook. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put this now. We're using this as fair use for educational purposes only. We are promoting their program with no benefits attached, but your own health and happiness. So, as we do that, we're going to place the mung beans, onion powder, and garlic powder in a small saucepan and cover with 1 inch of water. And here it says we want to bring the water to boil, then lower the heat and simmer for approximately 35 minutes or until soft but not overdone. All right, so while that is working, we're maybe okay, I'm debating here. All right, we might use the Instant Pot with this. So it says here how much it's looking at 1 inch, cover with 1 inch of water. So we've got to have, okay, so here we go. We're going to put the whole thing in the Instant Pot.
Instant Pot already in.
All right. I'm going to use the Instant Pot right here. All right. So we're going to put that all there. And then we're going to go ahead and put, so by the time that warms up and cools down, it will be about the same amount of time. So we're going to cover that with water. Now, let me just get this. Now it says also the onion powder, it's 2 tablespoons of onion powder. So let me get that in there. So we'll be mixing as we put that in there. Onion powder. Alright, so onion powder. Here we go with the onion powder and the garlic powder. We've got the onion powder headed our way. So we're going to do actually a whole 2 tablespoons of onion powder. So this is the onion powder. Now I didn't really churn this up and get this ready to go, so we're going to do that right now. Alright. I usually like to make fresh onion. We will probably do that later. So we're going to go for the brevity of time, just to see if we can just use the onion powder. So we need 2 tablespoons of the onion powder. That's 1. And let's make sure it's table. Alright, let's see, tablespoon 1. And two, and then we're going to use the garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. That one can fit in there. This is actually not granulated, it is actually powder, I believe. This one, there we go. So, got that. And then now we need to cover that with water. And I'm going to put the water in here. Alright, here we go. Alright, so I think that's enough water. If not, we will put a little bit more. That looks like an inch. So the finger method. Okay, Mom, you taught me how to do that one. Alright, so that's about an inch, I think. So let's go with that. And we'll stick it over here. Now, we're going to get our handy dandy cheat sheet out here. Let's see, it says here for soaked mung beans, it is, let's see, where does it even have it in there? So we're just going to choose our own. Let's just do 20 minutes. Huh?
No, don't do 20. 10.
10? 10? Okay. So
even a lot. Maybe 5.
5? Okay. All right. So we have counsel from across. So she says 5. All right. So let's go with that and see how that goes. Now I'm looking for the top of there. It's on the floor. All right. So let's look at that. Okay. I'm going to use the Instant Pot. Now, as the Instant Pot is going, we'll probably have time for the tortillas. Maybe make the rest of the ingredients. Now this is where I wanted to use the extra plug. There we go. Alright. So let's use this together with that. And this, always not good if you have not enough battery power. So that's what we're headed to do. There we go. Wires galore. There we go. All right. So with that said, we've programmed that for 5 buckaroo minutes. All right. So we'll see how that goes. Finally, and add to the minced bowl. So what are we using? We're using the food processor, and we want to go ahead and have the potato. So let me find a potato and make that while we're doing that. Oh, refrigerator. All right, so let's do have the potato. Let's see, second level with the potato. Okay, so Gundry likes the red potatoes. Let's see here. I don't see any in the plastic bag. There's some carrots, and there's fruit level. Let's see here. Ooh, we're cooking the wire. So we need the potato, and we need 1 medium potato cooked. So probably against protocol, we're going to just cook this in the microwave. Now we've got to make sure that we don't have roots growing out of it, and there's not a green peel underneath the peel itself, because that would mean it's not good anymore, according to, I can't remember who it was. If it was Grieger, probably was Dr. Grieger. So we're going to scrub it like a, I don't really have to scrub it so much. So we're going to poke the holes into this medium potato and without poking ourselves. There we go. Alright, so let's see how long the medium potato needs to last in the zapper. So let's read here. Popcorn potato, 1 potato, tap potato until desired serving appears. So 1 potato, There we go. That's it. So the potatoes cooking. Hopefully it won't explode on us. All right, so we've got one that disappeared. All right, let's see if we can rev this up without having to go out of it. All right, so it's died. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if we can rev that. So I'm going to take both of those off the stream. Here we go. Nope. So the potato is gurgling in the background. In our zapper radiation machine, we're making sure we are far enough with our EMF hat and medallion on, because we don't want the non-ionizing radiation, even though it's considered safe. All right. So let's see if we can start that one up again. Doesn't want to go. All right, so somehow that is not working. So we will reboot that one, restart it. All right, it was working very nicely the whole time. Now, while that is working, let's go ahead and make our tortilla. This one's ready to go. Make our tortilla, make our tortilla. Oh, yeah. Potatoes done. And we are going to do the tortilla. Maybe I'm going to put it over here.
What?
This one. There we go.
Here, look. See?
There we go.
Use it right there.
All right. Let's go ahead and do this one here. Don't want it too high, just medium. check the potato. Alright, looks like it's okay. There we go. So with the potato, add the potato processor and finally place in the mixing bowl. Add the chopped onions to the mung beans in the mixing bowl. Process them finally. Okay, add the potato, chopped onions, minced garlic. So we need to do. We need actually 2 potatoes because we've got 2 recipes. So we're going to continue on with making the second. Potato. Oh. Potato. There we go. So potato number 2 is cooking. I think we're ready for the tortilla. Alright, so this is 2 to 5 minutes. Alright, we're doing the tortilla. Where is it? Good. Working on that. Put it on low. Alright, so that takes a while. Let's go back to the tortillas. There it is. Going to it's probably too thick. I'm thinking that it's too thick. Probably should have made some smaller ones, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Two, 1, 6, 8, 15, colon, 1025. Oops. Okay, so potato number 2 is ready. Now I have to get some garlic, 4 cloves of garlic, and a cup of onion. Do we have any more onion?
Huh?
Do we have any more onion?
A lot of onion in the refrigerator.
Oh, okay. Oop. You little AGEs. Okay, so we've got the potato.
You said you want a cup of onion?
Yeah.
You want me to do something?
Sure. And then this garlic.
Look, I have the passing already.
Oh, is that for me?
Yeah, you can. Get it.
Uh,
Get it.
how many is that?